On the show this morning, we'll talk about things that have affected Nigerians so far and try and make sense out of it. You know, the whole issue about fuel scarcity, Dangote's refinery rolling out its own product and the rest. Yeah, it hit the headline yesterday. Most report about it. While it raised hope, at the same time, there were a bit of back and forth about how NNPC will distribute or disburse this fuel. You know, at first, Dangote mentioned that it was going to be the NNPCL that will, you know, determine the price of it, based on the fact that they had that arrangement or agreement with the DPRA, which of course is a member of the NNPCL, that they will provide, or Dangote will buy, you know, crude oil from the NNPCL via Naira, not the dollar, so to speak, you know. And the report went around that NNPC were going to be the off-taker, they were going to buy it and then sell to other retail outlets. But as it seems, it's not going to be that way, because the NNPCL over the weekend released a statement contradicting that report, saying that at no time were they planning to be the off-taker, that the NNPCL, that Dangote can sell to whoever he wishes to sell his product to, you know, as long as, you know, there's a willing buyer and or willing seller, willing buyer, so to speak, you know. That sort of caused a bit of problem for Nigerians, because now the fear is that will Dangote products sell above 1,000 naira or less, you know. So the question right now is, what will be the price going forward? There were hope that if NNPC takes it, one way or the other, it will be subsidized for Nigerians to be able to afford it. But if retail outlets or marketers, independent marketers, are taking it directly from Dangote's and they'll be buying it at the cost, which of course Dangote's refinery will have to factor in the cost of production as well, and that will affect the price of it. And also remember that it's not going. Currently, I think the crude that will be provided to Dangote refinery in September is for October. But whatever Dangote is selling right now, we don't know what the price is. Right. But the marketers, good thing is that marketers have willingly said, yes, we are going to buy from Dangote, we'll have a negotiation, we'll discuss and this and that and that, you know. But if you look at all of this, you know, should we brace ourselves for further increase in the price of the products? Dr. Champion.
Okay, for me, it's something that is two-sided, basically. Much as we know that we are in a capitalistic economy, all right, you know, manufacturers, entrepreneurs are free to choose their prices, regardless. But of course, we also have this hope. Over time, a lot of us have been depending or waiting for a Dangote refinery to take off. You know, there have been this postponement before now, he will soon start. But now it looks like everything is taking shape. The issue of price is still coming up as a major concern. And of course, I'm aware that the government had, to an extent, given him some soft landing, of course, concessions thereabouts, like even, of course, selling crude in Naira. Yeah. All right, it's one of those such. So the thing is, I believe the Dangote refinery will still have a human face looking at the plight of Nigerians. Because the truth of the matter is, things have skyrocketed.
But people say it's a business. Is that
that's why I started from the capitalist story. Okay, he has a right to do that. Yeah. Do you understand? Based, of course, factoring production, you know, a lot of processes before he got to where he is currently. Yeah. You understand? But you know, the flip side of the coin is the empathy, the thing that Nigerians are going through a whole lot. I mean, if you had gone out on the streets during the weekend, or even last week, even early this morning, you'd be wondering, I mean, when will this abate? When will this come to an end? When will Nigerians wake up and at least, you know, be a sign of relief that, of course, we have fuel now available and even affordable. Yeah. You know, a friend of mine slept at the filling station for 2 days at a stretch.
Just to get the product?
Yes, 2 days at a stretch. And he came out, he was so pained. And by the time he came back, his family was almost in disarray. The wife, out of frustration, was like, okay, she's living with the children. So he came to me, and a full-grown man crying, you know, bursting out in tears, talking about someone like 58, almost 60. You understand? Like, staring at me with a form of hopelessness that if not, I have someone to talk to, he may just be considering suicide. So the thing is, it's beyond the level of tolerance, right? We need to find out how we can make Nigerians get by with the current state. The hardship is not just staring us at the faces, it's living with us as a present-day reality.
That's right.
You understand? And it's so sad.
And that's right. Do remember,
So
you talked about empathy from Dangote Refinery. Dangote Refinery cost a whopping sum of $20 billion.
Yeah.
Do you think, as a businessman, he's going to be thinking about empathy right now? I think the first thing he's going to be looking at is to make his profit. And that is what every business person wants to get, wants to do. Marketers are also saying, well, if the Dangote Refinery, you know, in summary, the marketers are saying we're going to buy from where we can buy that's affordable for us, where it's going to be fair for us. So it means they either buy from a Dangote Refinery or they still keep importing. That's the consideration as well. From
the marketers are not important right now because NNPC are the ones importing.
Yes.
The marketers can't afford it because of the exchange rate, except the exchange rate comes out before they can import.
That's right.
You know,
but there's a consideration from the marketers as well.
Yeah,
because based on the conversation that Dangote is having with the NNPC, because they've really not come to a compromise yet. They're both still, you know, not on the same page. And that is a big time challenge for them. So marketers are still in the mix. And so they will still find an alternative that they can use in getting us the premium motor spirit. And that still will take a toll on Nigerians, whether we like it or not. So to answer your question, you might would say Nigerians should raise up because the prices might still go up.
And just remember that due to the PIA, talking about the Petroleum Industry Act, it looks as if it's in full sway right now. Because, yeah, indeed, some marketers expressed raised an eyebrow concerning the NNPC being the off-taker of the Dangote's, you know, product until they came out to say, no, we are not. Buy the way you want to or whatever you want to do. And, of course, if Dangote's own is cheaper, maybe we'll consider it and stuff. But apart from all that, don't you sense a kind of rivalry between NNPC right now and Dangote, you know? Their own refinery hasn't started working, so of course they will still rely on importing and the rest. But now they're telling Nigerians, like, well, I'm not the only people. If we don't want to buy from an NPC, we will not buy.
Right.
We'll keep on importing, and then maybe the competition will come in, and we'll see which product is the best. You know, some have raised the thumb about Dangote's own to say, wow, he's of course. He also has publicly bragged about how good his product is, you know. And many people are looking at the ones coming from Malta, from Eastern Europe, and the rest, you know. So it's a good thing that gradually we're going into a system where it depends on competition, you know, whose product is better and which people prefer, and then competition will actually make the price drop because, of course, I'm competing with you. I will drop my price. Dangote did that. Remember when with his diesel? I think it was 1,600. The ones being imported. When it came down, it brought it down to 1,200. They were also forced to reduce that to I think 1,200 or thereabout. You know, are we going to a place where at least we'll say that competition, like it happened several years in the telecom industry, dropped the price, and then who knows? Maybe one day we'll be buying based on exchange rate and the rest. We may just be buying it maybe 300 naira per liter or 200 naira per liter. I don't know. Just say it.
Yeah. It's a good one because, you know, of course, when it comes to these fuel issues, you know, it's largely determined by market forces and, of course, the exchange rate. All right, but like you rightly cited, the telecom industry many years back was almost looking like this, whereby we had a strong monopoly. We had it almost like one-sided in terms of offering of that service. But of course, when the market became open, when competition became higher, people decided, okay, I need to bring in this incentive, buy at a cheaper rate, get extra this. You know, at the time we started seeing even free recharge cards being loaded in SIM cards.
Yeah.
All right, just a way to draw customers in. Okay, so it's a good thing. Whenever you have, you know, such competitions in place, you have, of course, you break monopoly, and of course, you encourage diversity. You also encourage people to think out of the box on how to get customers to themselves.
Right.
And of course, like you said, it will definitely allow the prices to drop over time. And today, we're talking about a Dangote. Tomorrow, another person could spring up. You understand? Because it's a fair play for all. Yeah, for all. So for me, it's a good one.
Yeah. Competition definitely, of course, is good for business, you know, but for bringing it down to what we have with Dangote right here, and of course the NNPC as well too, the competition might not be so healthy, as it were, because it still might play out to be a case of an elephant still wanting to fight, you know, with the lesser animal. you know, in that part, in that
Who's the
regard.
elephant?
You might want to call the NNPC the elephant. They still have an upper hand, you know, because they are the government force, basically in this particular regards. But basically, you know, look at all of our refineries; they're not still functional, right? And there is every possibility that individuals that are working with the NNPCL, from the directors and everyone in that particular circle, might also still want to do a thing or two to sabotage the Dangote refinery. But if they do that, it's also going to show a sign that these individuals, which of course this is something we've talked about a lot of times, these individuals do not have the interests of Nigerians at heart. Because the Port Harcourt refinery is there, that's supposed to have started functioning this year,
yes, no,
but we do not have that
postponement
function.
of postponement.
And these refineries are under the purview of the NNPCL, correct?
Yeah,
and these guys have done nothing to ensure that it is working. Now a single individual has put in his resources to ensure that his private refinery is functional. I think the best we can do is to find a common ground that we can work together to ensure that Nigerians are having this product at a fair price and not begin to bring in, you know, any kind of might that might want to stampede or even reduce.
They will still have their own refinery, NNPC, because they have several. So one way or the other, they're also competing with
Dangote.
You know, even though if you join all the, if you combine all the refinery, that's not up to the capacity of the Dangote refinery. But whatever it is, they have. You also have other refineries coming up, Madura refineries, but nothing compares to Dangote's refinery as it is. You know, but there's something the National Operation Controller of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, said, Mustafa Zama, where he said, "We have not contacted Dangote for now, but we may contact the refinery sales department this week to find out the price. If the price is competitive enough for one to buy and get his return on investment and the required margin, then we wouldn't mind purchasing directly from him to complement what NNPC is bringing in or what NNPC will buy from Dangote." We don't know if NNPC will buy from Dangote anyway. Now, with this statement, we all know about independent marketers, apart from NNPC. But when you look at independent marketers, they are the marketers. And as it is, 85% of the tank farms in Nigeria that already belong to these marketers, and I don't think you know, they can afford to abandon Dangote. You know, Dangote too might also look at them as a means of also making us profit. You know, should there be a compromise from Dangote
in regards of price?
In regards of price, you know, I think you mentioned it earlier on.
Yes,
but
yes.
And if that's the case, to what extent should it be something that, for a time being, maybe I'll sell this price for you and look at and all of that, because we know that definitely he will be at loss, but probably he just wants to help out. It's okay, let the price be at, you know. But should it be something that a temporary arrangement to at least help sell the product to Nigerians, let Nigerians get adjusted to it and the rest, and then later on you tell them that, okay, that holiday is with God. You know, should it be like that kind of a compromise?
Champion, I'll let you go.
Yeah, for me, yes, I would say yes. The thing is, I feel that anyone in this kind of business, I think it's almost, quote unquote, impossible to run at a loss. I would say that as a businessman, yes, because we're talking about something that is in a very high demand. Do you understand? Yes. And of course, we may be looking at, you may be looking at it from the point of, you know, there are two types of businessmen. There are people that, you know, go into goods and services and they make exorbitant profits, like a one-off. Yeah. While there are some people that they don't make exorbitant profits as a one-off. Their profits come over time. They call it turnover.
Turnover, yeah, quick turnover.
Yeah, so the thing is that Dangote can go on that route. There's no how, at the end of the day, if you go through the route of his turnover, there can be no losses. Because this is something that is in demand. This is something, I mean, the fuel crisis has been on for over 3 months. I started counting this since July.
Yeah, about 3 months.
You understand? Yeah, so there's already a demand even before the supply. Of course, we know what economists will say about that. You get, so the thing is that, like I said, let the Dangote look at it from the part of empathy. Much as I know about the $20 billion investment and a whole lot have gone
the loans,
the loans, I'm not denying that. But let's see this as another palliative. You understand, quote and unquote. Looking at it that you know, of course, that these are Nigerians. These are the people. Of course, he is one of those that have been looking at, one of those that have been championing the domesticated ideas of yes, manufacturing, make things in our own country, localize our products, do less of importation, do more of production.
But Dr. Van, don't forget, he will make more money by exporting that petrol.
Yeah, definitely.
And it already has a ready market all over
Exactly,
the world.
all over the
Yes.
world.
You know, so why sell it at a cheaper price and the rest when I can easily just ship it abroad and make my profit and you know.
And I think according to report, even there's a consideration as well too by Dangote to also do that if he's very much frustrated, you know, in the Nigerian market. Again, Dangote is a private entity. If he does decide to say he wants to reduce the price, that should be his decision. But using your word palliative as well to Nigeria, Dangote is not a government person. You understand? The very reason he came into business is to make his profit. And like it or not, Dangote's prices, if he's been allowed to determine his price will be to make his profit. Right? That's what it's going to be all over for him. Because he can't put in that amount of money, you know, and you know, we expect him to come in and say, let's do a charitable business for Nigerians. You know, based on the fact that he's a private person, he has a lot of bills to also sort out and clear, loans to also pay back, you know, for the purpose of, you know, making his business thrive and all of that. So I think it's going to be difficult, you know, or it might be difficult. Let me not say will be. It might be difficult for Dangote to, you know, bring in, you know, his product to us at a very, very low price. You know, but
we're hoping. Let me quickly chip in something there. Just like in a sentence or two. The truth of the matter is, no matter how much we look at your line of thought, you also understand that the flip side of this coin. The Dangote brand has been, without even mentioning, was one of the very few beneficiaries of the Nigerian government over time.
Yes, of course, he has.
Over time, since democracy, even before democracy was set into place, Dangote brand, of course, we know Dangote has so many products all over the market.
Right.
They've enjoyed different concessions. They've enjoyed different waivers. There are things we can see that's like stating the obvious. So if we're looking at, I use the word palliative, you don't need to be a government person to give palliative. I've done palliative on my own as an individual. Do you understand? I've seen private individuals that over time have gone out of their way. There are, you know, community, you know, projects to give back to the society. So we are looking at it.
But you were not doing it from your business angle.
I was doing it from the business angle. You understand?
You were using your business to fund that.
The truth of the matter is this. The Dangote brand has benefited from this government.
So it's time for him to.
So please, it's time for him to say, okay, give back.
Give back to the society. After all, he's also a philanthropist. So let's see if he will be magnanimous enough to say, okay, I'll come to a compromise with these marketers. Since NNPC has said they're not going to be off-taker. Initially, we all thought NNPC would be the sole off-taker and, of course, sell to other people. Everybody will be waiting for that. But let's see how it goes. But what's your thought about it? Please do send your messages to our WhatsApp number. Do you think, do you buy the idea that Dangote should be a bit temper messy, you know, and try and see how the price can be a bit affordable to Nigerians, despite the fact that, of course, we know how much it takes to actually even produce 1 liter of that product, you know. And of course, the NNPC as well, they also support the idea that they shouldn't be the off-taker, truly, you know. Other marketers can go directly to the Dangote refinery and get their product and sell to Nigeria. And how competitive that will be is what we'll wait for. You could send your messages as well to social media at Rave Television. Use the hashtag #MorningRave. If you can't reach us by the WhatsApp number, if you prefer that. We'd love to hear from Nigerians. And I think we'll also discuss further during the newspaper review segment, because some of the papers that will be with us also carry this as a headline. But to other matters that developed over the weekend, Ajuri Ngelale, the presidential assistant to on media and publicity, you know, suddenly or shockingly resigned. Some will say resigned, but according to his letter, is the leave of absence, indefinite leave of absence, as the statement he issued said he has to deal with some family medical issue, and because of that, of course, government will not wait for him. The work will not wait for him. He is stepping aside for the moment to concentrate on his the pressing issue, the medical issue, of course. The other, it felt like he had resigned, even though he used, you know, indefinite leave of absence, you know. And there you have a statement that he issued, I mean, to the public to say he's stepping aside. But what is coming up, or what has the reports that others are getting concerning this, based on sources from Aso Villa, is that he was actually, one way or the other, forced to resign or was sacked. Why? According to reports, Premium Times actually carried that to report that his relationship with Bayo Onanuga, another media aide to the president, and who is also a senior, if you look at it by age and by experience, was irreparable. They had that relationship. A lot of people also felt Ngelale wasn't experienced, that most editors, journalists complained about him not returning their calls or not issuing statements and the rest to people and keeping people updated. They felt that he was lacking a job. And then, according to what the report also says, that at one point, he couldn't even see the president. Now, the report further said that he was even recommended for the job based on the fact that he was close to Seyi Tinubu, the president's son, who also spoke on his behalf. And that at one point, he was able to get an interview on CNN for the president. And that's why, all of this came about, or why he was appointed. He still remains the youngest, person in that position, because hitherto we always had, older people, the Femi Adesina, Gaba Mohammed, and the rest, Ruben Abati. You could see that those were, but at 37-year-old, he got that job, and right now he has stepped down. Dr. Champion, from everything that been said, recall that the Nigerian public relation body complained that he was not a public relation person. He never had that study. He never had that training. And he was a journalist who spent time in AIT channels and the rest, and therefore he wasn't qualified. As at that time he was appointed, do you think they are justified what they are, based on the report that has been spreading around concerning why he has to step down?
For me, there are a lot of, this case is something that is deeper than the surface level. All right, because we have the Ajuri Ngelale's version. They were having other versions coming up. All right. He cited, family medical reasons concerning his immediate family, according to him. So he wanted to have a leave of absence, indefinite leave of absence, which technically is saying you are resigning. But now we're even hearing that it was even a sack and all of that. So there are a lot of back and forth on this issue, but I'll just look at it from this angle. First of all, like the issue of from the public relations group, all right, about that's also true. All right, I know that give and take, I don't think he has spent up to 10 years. And of course, as a journalist, as a media practitioner.
I think he has spent, because he started in 2000.
2000. But I know that before he got his first appointment, all right, I know he did some stuff in AIT, then he went to channels and all of that. Well, give and take, he has not done 20 years. Like you said, he still has that.
Recall that he was in the former administration too,
I know,
under the office of the vice president,
yes,
of course, as a media aide as well.
Yeah, so of course that's to his credit. Technically, he has served 2 presidents. Because so that's even adds to his profile. Okay, so but I'm just looking at the issue here of capacity going forward. I feel that the work of the president is a very critical job. I'm not just referring to the president of the country. President of any nation in the world, if you are going to serve in that capacity, is something that is very dicey, something that is very, very critical. And of course, anybody working with the president must be on their toes. And one of the things that should be looked out for is capacity, competence. He came on board based on recommendation from the president's son, Mr. Seyi Tinubu. All right, so if that statement is actually true, then it's not justifiable. It's not something that should be encouraged as a trend, because the media aide or the media advisor, special advisor to the president on media and publicity, is something that is very critical. Very. Because you are in the eyes of the public every second, every minute. Journalists are calling. And from the look of things, feedbacks we got from people, I even spoke to 1 or 2 senior people in the media space. He didn't have a very good relationship with media people. Editors, journalists, even reporters. He doesn't really pick calls, doesn't respond to chats, messages, feedbacks. And of course, that is one thing that, of course, looked like a negative stain on his own image.
But I had a good relationship when I would not lie, because usually I let me just put it that way.
Yeah, so the
you know,
we have that allegations in the public. All right, not from one, not from two, not from different. So the thing is, that job is that position is very sensitive. So whoever will occupy it must be up and doing, and of course must be able to have a bit of boldness to say things, even if they don't look like they are real. Do you understand? You look at something and say, this is what it is, and be able to defend it, even if you are stating otherwise. Do you understand? So the thing is, that his position is not something I envy him about. It's something and
it's not an easy job, of course, defending the president.
And there are also rumors or allegations of he overlapping duties with Bayo Onanuga, which was a part of
because if you look at it, on the basis of hierarchy, he was the senior in that office. But of course, as sources said, that Bayo Onanuga, based on years
of experience,
where he has worked, especially when he had worked with the president during the time of 1993, as far back as 1993, I mean, Bayo Onanuga is in the rank of the likes of Lai Mohammed and the rest who had been with him, Dele Alake, they were all together at those times. So it was like, okay, this young boy is coming to become my Oga, telling everyone that nothing should go be published. I was in several cases where Bayo Onanuga will put out something, the next thing, his own statement will contradict it, Bayo Onanuga will have to delete, and we'll have to, and it became a problem because people were pointing out that, okay, what's going on, and then, I don't know what, maybe they had a good rapport with a lot of people, media people there, because we saw the fiasco that happened concerning the Dubai incident, where he immediately went to report that UAE has removed the ban. When nothing like that happened, people went to their side, people asked questions and they said no, and we've seen several times that some things went on and people asked the question, what is going on? Why is the media team doing this kind of thing? And of course making a mess of the whole thing, portraying the president as someone who is confused,
So one thing that another thing comes up. And of course they were allegedly moved to have a peace talk between both of them,
and he refused.
I also over time, so I don't know. It's beyond the surface level. There are things, with time, the real matters will be unveiled. Yes.
But I don't know if he will come out and tell his own story about it. But we'll wait and see what will happen. But I mean, Victor, just before we head to the papers, what's the ideal kind of public relation for president? How should the media aid be? How do you think a media aid should portray?
Well,
because these days what you see is that it looks as if you're a media aid, you must lie.
Your job basically is to paint your principle in a certain light, definitely, and manage crisis and all of that. But most importantly, give the public the accurate information. That's what it is. And has Adrian Galali lived up to expectation? What the public has to judge on.
Would it be bad if a media aid just tell the press, I don't know for now, hold on? Would that
is going to be a tough one, you understand? Because at every point in time, you're supposed to have all those information at your fingertips. However, if you do not want to comment about it, you could tell to the nation, basically, this information will get to us maybe later or something of that sort. But saying outrightly that you do not have all of those information,
you'll be looking like an incompetence. You will look like you are not even.
You're not
and so another thing was that we are told that Adjurin Gelali was removed from the delegation team that went to China.
We didn't go to Dubai. That was surprising.
That was surprising.
Because
that was very surprising. So, and they said there were also issues that he was not allowed to see Mr. President. He was doing
so there have been
as Dr. Champion said, the problem will get further info on what actually, or details of what actually transpired,